Welcome to the official Munzee podcast.
I'm Rob, also known as Coach V, your host and the president of Munzee.
And I'm Craig, also known as Semi-Shell. I'm an avid Munzee player and I'm here to explore the game further.
Each week we'll delve into Munzee's mysteries, divulge some secrets, and inform players from around the world just what is coming your way.
So sit back, relax, drive your car, whatever you like to do. The chat is going to be big today itself because it's a big weekend. We've got new mini blast, we've got a survey, we've got Flat Murray's DHS, and Robert ends with I'll say this, a fantastic tip of the week by me. You didn't even know this tip until you saw it and went, oh, that's great, Craig. So there you go.
It's a lot of points, so stick around, everyone.
A lot of points for not much, let's be honest. Yeah. So exactly. What have you been up to, Rob? You're back in the UK, I see, as well, you know?
Yeah. Back in the UK, just settling in the English way. The fact that the temperatures don't even reach 70 degrees. It's pretty rough, man. So yeah.
that's Fahrenheit.
Sweatshirt. Yeah.
Which is about 20 Celsius roughly.
Yeah, it's nice and cool. But the nice part about that is going to events that you just don't walk outside and start sweating. So Liz and I are going to the events, the midsummer events in the South Coast UK this weekend on Saturday.
This weekend. That's really cool. And we'll get to the events very, very soon as well, mate. Yeah. I'm going to an event this weekend as well, Rob. So I'm actually co-hosting an event this weekend as well. So with Dale and Barb from Space Coast Geostore. So there you go. Good old Dale and Barb. They're going to make their way back to New Jersey. There's a New Jersey Mega on Saturday. And then Saturday afternoon across the river from the geocaching mega will be our little event itself as well. Some cards are starting to pop up, which is good too.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And let's be honest, Rob, as well. Today is Friday as people listen to this. If they listen to it on the first day that it comes out, double points has already started today on Friday. And that's double points on everything. So including deploying, including capping, so all sorts. So double points on everything. So if you haven't got cards out, that's why I say it. If you don't have cards out for your events this weekend, get them out wherever you can because, Rob, it's going to be huge. This weekend is going to be – how are the servers going to go, you reckon?
Oh, they're going to be great. I'll be at an event on Saturday, so they will be great. Yeah, things are going to be good. We haven't ever, to my remembrance, done an actual everything event before. Maybe long ago when there were only 3 types. Yeah. But, since now when we have more than 1,000 types,
I was going to say 3,000 types.
yeah. We've never done anything quite like this. So we're expecting big things this weekend. Going to be fun.
And I take it all your team are on board this weekend as well. So they're all going to be everyone's going to be awake pretty much the whole time throughout the whole weekend.
Everyone's on high alert. We are ramped up. We are ready to go.
That's good to hear. All right, Rob, let's talk about the week that was, and we're going to start with just the events because it was halfway between the clan wars, Rob. So there's not much going on. In USA, there was only in California. Around the world, for instance, we had Denmark, Finland, Germany, and New Zealand. And some of the scores, Rob, of the weekend were new players, which is awesome. Well, not new players, but new names to the podcast. And because of those ones in other countries as well. So around the world, Rob, the leaderboards on Friday we had?
Well, on Friday, the first 2 came from the New Zealand events, which was pretty cool. Tracy G, 343,000. Darby Joan, 291,000. And then out of Minnesota, 218, Goat Girl with 266,000.
Yeah, so Minnesota's got a little bit of mention there too. On Saturday, we had, I wanted to do this to myself, Kit Curry on 1 million points. I'm going to say it. Minnesota boy 3 times because he likes it. 901,000 points and Hokey on 841,000 points on Sunday.
Jeffo43 with 2.34 million points. Jeb GJJ, you got me there. 418,000 points. And Brasilia, 290,000 points.
let's be honest, Rob, there's big differences there, especially on Sunday, from 2.34 million to 400,000. So obviously Jaffo, she's taken it on board herself to sort of use the blast, the double points on blasts.
That would be the assumption there, is that some of the big scores came from the blast, because last weekend was the double points on blasts. Yeah. So it was good.
Was that another little test as well, was it, Rob? I'm just saying.
That was a test, definitely. A test of many things. A test of the blast system, a test of something new that we may see come up, in the future. Just the ability to do exactly that. So we'll see. Yeah.
And we'll get into it again in the show as well as to what sort of blasts are now available as well. So meanwhile, the current events coming up firstly this weekend. You ready for this, Rob? Indiana, Kentucky, Florida, Minnesota, Missouri, Alabama, California, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. And around the world
we've got Canada and British Columbia and Ontario, UK, Switzerland, Finland, Belgium, Netherlands, it's on the border, and Denmark, Japan, Australia, one in Victoria, and one in ACT.
How cool. This is a big weekend, Rob. It is a huge weekend.
There's more than 20 events this weekend.
Wow. Yeah. Lou's been busy by the looks of things too, which is cool. Yes. Meanwhile, some of the large events upcoming over the last next few months, I should say. Again, we use filters, Rob, for see who the most attendees at the time. So obviously with this weekend, we've got the Midsummer in New Forest, Hampshire, UK. You said before, you and Lou are going to be there. Rob, I saw there's two events on the Saturday, and both events have 68 I'm goings. 68 I'm goings. Yeah. It's getting up to that 100 point again. Yeah.
Right.
It's getting up
It's
there.
very impressive. They used to run, more than 80 at events. And with the fact that everything is double points, we're definitely seeing people coming in from all over, not just the country, but I've heard from players that are coming from different countries over to this one. So it's going to be great.
That's awesome. Also, next month, I've found July 13th in Suffolk again, UK 21, and July 14th in Fairfield, Ohio, there's 27. So those two events are looking a decent size as well. So if you're looking at those two in that sort of month, get to them as well. Make sure you put in your I'm goings. And then again, Rob, in September 20th to 22nd, she still has not put them on the list yet, but they will be there in Fort Worth, Texas, September 20th to 22nd.
The mentioning of this event shall be rejected for next week if it's not on the calendar. It's not official until it's on the calendar.
Exactly.
Just like things aren't official until they're on Facebook, right? So
this is true.
We're going to have to hold her to it. It's time. It's time to put and get it on there.
Exactly. Denali, we're talking about you. So there you go. Meanwhile, Rob, we're going to talk about things that happened this week, and we go back to the blasting system. As we said before, there was double points last weekend on everything that you blast. But what I loved about this, Rob, and that is there was things out there that were double points on blast for the person blasting. But if your Munzee got blasted, you got the double points as well. What I took from that, Rob, is this. And that is put out more things that are blastable in those areas that get blasted, like, your event locations, like airports, like train stations, places like that where people do use a lot of blasts because they don't have a lot of time to cap them all. So put out blastable type Munzees. That's what I got from the number one. Is that about right?
That would be a bonus tip of the week that I would also say, is you've got this thing that may happen in the future. And so the wise thing to do is to load up those areas where great groups of people might be, knowing that there's a possibility that you could get double points on something only from deploying it. Like,
exactly.
That's pretty wild. A lot of the gardens that get built, have blastable items in them. So looking at where gardens are, going to blast those specific gardens, things like that. So for the builders out there, blastable types of things could be more beneficial in the future. So
exactly.
It's a great idea, and it went very well. We were pleased with the results, and it seems like everyone got the points that they were looking for. So that's great.
Exactly. Jaffo, you're well done.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, at the same time, you brought out a new, you've already got a blast. You've already got a mini blast, but this is a micro blast. Tell us about the micro blast, Rob.
So specifically at the Geo Woodstock events, there were quite a few conversations about how many cards, how many different things there were in the area. It was difficult to, get everything. And some people like to walk the trails and they go and hand cap everything, and then they might use a blast. Well, let's say that there are 28 that are left over. Everyone's not interested in using an entire 50, that mini blast, and really missing out on or losing 22 caps there. So you leave them on the map. And for me, like on my side, I want to see people get the most points available, and that includes the people who are the deployers. The cap on points are important. Same thing. 22, if there are 22 cards or blastable things that are left in an area, then you might not want to go chase those things down, but you certainly aren't going to burn a mini blast of 50 for 22 things, but you might use a micro blast for 22. So this is a conversation that I have with actually quite a few people, and brought it back to the team. Everyone was on board, so we actually turned that one around that quickly. I discussed it at Geo Woodstock, and in less than 10 days, we had it ready to go in the app. Yeah.
Wow, well done to your developers. It is a different color. So the black bombs themselves, they go 100. The blue ones, they're the minis, and they do 50. So these, Rob, these are purple. Am I right? They're purple?
Yeah, they are
purple, and they do 25.
We looked at 3 different colors, and purple won. So it was like, all right,
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. So you got 3
different kinds of things. Yeah. So we have colors for blasts of future things. We can't use gold because we had the Mega Blast that was gold. And,
years ago.
The one that did 500. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot. 500 is a lot, Ron. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But you can do 300 at a time just by doing 3 of the black bombs themselves at one time, and that's easy done. So there you go. Very good, Rob. And price wise, they're equivalent to how many they cap. In other words, how many they blast. So if it's like $4 for the, what do you call it? The
100, just blast.
100?
Yeah, the regular
100 regular blast, and these ones are $1 because it's a quarter of the price, a quarter of the actual blast. So relatively wise, they're a cheaper option, but overall that they're going to be probably the same. They work out the same price. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good. All right, Rob, we spoke obviously already about the double points blasting on last weekend. We don't need to go back on that, but now we're talking about a survey. You brought out a survey, Rob. What's the survey about? I did mine.
Yeah. Well, the survey is about kind of filling in the rest of the team to things that I hear whenever I go to events. Also, as one person who kind of travels the most to events, I can only hear from a certain amount of people, and only in the locations that I go to. So like this weekend, I'm going to hear from English players or players who travel to England. The answers that we get from players in England are slightly different than the ones that we get from players in California or Minnesota. Everyone plays a slightly different way, as far as blast go, as far as the types of deploys, where they host events, activities at events, that kind of thing. And so we just wanted to get some information from everyone around the world. New players, old players, players who stopped, players who are in clans. What level clan are you in? Players who used to be in clans. Why did you stop? That kind of stuff. We're looking at a lot of different information, and really this year we're trying to pull a lot of things together. And I've been really clear about the fact that we're trying to increase the number of players that we have active daily, in particular, daily, weekly, monthly, those kinds of things. And part of that was the daily greenies. So we needed to see, do you like the daily greenies? Do you not? are you interested in there being other types that pop back up on the map?
Yes. You know? Yeah, so. Exactly. I liked one of the questions too, Rob, which has been brought up to me personally a couple of times, and that is, especially like if you're in an area and you're by yourself and there's no other players in your area, for instance, and you want to do your greenie stroll, but they're all your greenies. You know, one of the questions was, what about recapping your own greenies every day as well? And so I know a lot of people would have gone, yes for that. I'll just say that much. So yeah, there's that sort of thing as well, which is cool.
Yeah, that is definitely a we'll go with contentious point. Not only like within our team, but around the world. And so it's interesting to see as the results come back, because we're already looking at things, the little pie charts that get built from answers and everything. There is a very opinionated audience out there. We know that. There are a lot of people who are more than happy to give their feedback, and that's great. And we accept it, and we're trying to, put it to use, or we will be over the coming months. But yeah, when there's a fill in the blank, why did you answer the way that you do? We definitely find out quite a bit of information on those things. But yeah, the cap your own is something that has been a question, a request, just a desire, let's say, for a while.
From a player's point of view, Rob, I can understand the Munzee thought process in regards to POIs, for instance. You do want people to exchange POIs, because they're a virtual product. So, I can talk to someone that's in Australia and say, if you put a bank POI here, I've got a bank POI for you, and you can exchange them, and you both get points, and you cap on points, and blah blah blah. But it also creates conversations. Those conversations can lead to updated clans. So in other words, it's like, like I spoke to you about your POIs. Do you want to join my clan? So it gets the conversation talking. It gets people, the community growing as a whole. And I get that. But we're talking about the physical side of the game, you see. So that's a difference. But I will say this, Rob, and that is, especially going back to the greenies themselves, in the Munzee Maniacs recent podcast, the one that was just released this week itself, if you haven't listened to it, go and listen, because PJ has done a complete U-turn on the daily greenies, and he actually likes them now. So people, listen to me very carefully out there. If you don't know PJ, I know PJ well enough now. And, if he can turn around, Rob, if he can have his mind was set, he was to the point where he was about to quit Munzee over that one thing. If you can get PJ to turn around on that particular subject, hey, this game is for everyone, just saying. So love you, PJ, mate. So good job. And I'm happy that he actually opened up his mindset in the end to what he can actually now do with these greenies every single day. So there you go. Rob, one quick question. The survey, when does it end? If people haven't done it yet, when can they do it up till? That's not on the show notes, is it?
They've still got, by the time they're listening to this, I think it's another 10 days, if I remember correctly. We left it open for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So there you go, people. Get your survey in now. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. But what it does is it gives you a voice. You see, it gives you to allow Munzee to know your opinion on the matter as well. And if you don't have to put your username there. If you want to remain anonymous, you can do that. But if you do put your username in, you do go in the draw for special prizes as well. And we all love the prizes, Rob. So there you go.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I can tell you that much based on how many people put their usernames in. Some people even who have like extremely negative things to say and basically hate Munzee, they still put their name in there. I don't know if that's mainly just to go, it's me, or to say, while I may not like anything that you're doing, I still like free stuff. So I appreciate it. Honestly, I read the answers to multiple questions, because there are several important things in there to us, like really important things. And I've scrolled through every single answer for 2 of the different categories that we're really, really interested in trying to get real feedback from everyone around the world. Yeah.
Nice. So get your survey in now, people. You got a week from today when you listen to this. A week from today. That's it. So get it in ASAP. Meanwhile, Rob, we're going to move on now to the Flat Murrays and Flat DHS. The scatter events are going on from now through to Sunday itself as well. And you've got a big one sale, B3G1 sale. What's the B3G1 sale?
Buy 3, get 1. Yeah. Yeah. So I knew if I put the notes in there, but if I read this one, obviously I know. But yeah, this is the first time that we've done a double flat scatter event. So we wanted to try something a little bit different, and Flat Murray represents Wiley, and Flat DHS represents Dylan. Well, Dylan and Wiley are husband and wife, so Flat Murray is Dylan's dog as well. So that's the reason that we have these two paired up. And something about movies, and I don't remember the pets. And anyway,
I do. I remember because I was talking about this last night, Rob, to my new referral, and she brought it up because she actually she finished work. She's not here at the moment. She finished work, and she actually read the post after work, and she's like, "No, Craig, you have to cap these scatters. You cap 4 scatters." Of the either Murray or the DHS, and you get this special badge. Now, if you zoom into the badge, Dylan, you made someone extremely happy and actually squeal on the phone with excitement last night when she saw the actual badge itself, how it was. And then she said, "But who's that guy's head in the middle?" I went, "That's Dylan. That's Dylan." He put his own little face in the middle of his badge, and I like it. So, Dylan, mate, you're listening. Great job on this badge. I'm telling you now, you made someone's night last night. Just by and therefore now she's going to have to buy these things and get them and pick up the scatters, etc. But Rob, before we do, buy 3 get 1 free. What does that actually mean? Because people in the past have only bought 3 and have missed out. Do you need to put 4 in your inventory? Do you
need to have 4 in there. And what's interesting about this time is it actually can be 2 Flat DHS and 2 Flat Murray. So you can kind of mix and match those things. Yeah. So that's the nice part about it. Just get that done. That's only in the online store, just so everyone's clear. However, Flat DHS and Flat Murray are now available in the in-app store as well. So if you've got Zeds, want to pick one there.
Yeah. So if you want to pay for them via Zeds, then you don't get this buy 3, get 1 free. But if you do go via this website and pay in actual cash money, then you can do make sure you have 4 of these types in your inventory, or 8, 16 in the groups, in those sets of 4, and you'll get one of them for free at the end of the before you check out. So there you go. Flat Murray, Flat DHS, get them now in the store. Look at me, Rob, pushing people to actually buy some stuff. But anyway,
honestly, it's how it has to happen if you want to get those scatters, or you want to try and trade those things.
And get that badge, Rob. Get that badge. So just saying. All right, Rob. So this leads us now to the biggest points weekend possible in a long, long time. This weekend, double points on everything. Now, you said before everything.
Yeah.
Does it include everything?
It does, but let's not jump into that one thing.
Oh, no, I'm not jumping yet. I'm not jumping yet.
That's the hold until the very end.
Oh, I'm holding. Don't worry.
It does include everything. Caps, and cap-ons, deploys, everything that gives points, everything will be doubled.
There you go, people. So if you haven't got your cards out now, get your cards out. If you haven't got your blastables out, get your blastables out at those events, rather than just saying. Anyway, Rob, moving on now to the Munzee question of the week. Now, this question, I've had this question 3 times, Rob. 3 different people, exactly, from 3 different clans as well. And the question is this, Rob, does the Daily Stroll Stars and the Well-Wisps you can then purchase, you make a wish, but you know what I'm talking about. The Daily Stroll Stars and the Well-Wisps, do they count towards your scatter points for Clan Wars or Daily Zeops, etc.?
I do not know. I know. I wish that somehow when we weren't filling out the notes at the same time, and I did see this morning. However, I'm the only person on the team who's awake working these kinds of hours, right? England and time zones and whatnot. So I regretfully have to say, someone out there in the real world, will you please inform us? Let us know. This question comes up and I do not know. The answer should be yes.
Yes. They should be yes, because technically they are a scatter per se. The stars scatter, the Will-O-Wisps scatter because you don't know where they're going to be. So,
I'm not 100% sure about either of them because officially, truly, really, it's just a star. And the star itself, when you cap it, it doesn't actually scatter
anything.
Something else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It
scatters another star.
The technicalities and the let's look up the definitions and all of that. It's a star trail stroll and a well-wisp trail is what they officially are. I don't know.
But the trail isn't dedicated. But anyway, Rob, how about we do this? Rob? Let's return. Let's, as they say in the corporate world, let's circle back, Rob. Let's circle back to this for next week. So this here, ready for this, people? This is going to be the question of the week for Rob for next week, and that is, does the Daily Stroll stars and Will-O-Wisps count towards scatter points? Now, if they do, people, and people out there have obviously looked at them, if they do, let us know. Send me a message and let me know if they do, and we'll go from there. So meanwhile, Rob, we're going to get to the biggest, one of the biggest. Yeah.
If they don't, then that's also on purpose.
Yeah.
So I just don't remember.
Let us know if they do or don't. Let us know if they do or don't. So go from there. All right, Rob, are you ready for this now? One of the biggest Munzee tips of the week that I found out, I thought about a couple of weeks ago when you first announced this double points on everything. And I said to you, Rob, is that everything? And you said, yes, that's everything. I said the word everything 15 times, Rob.
Yeah,
so
you did.
And you still said everything. So I went, okay. Now, people, listen carefully. This weekend, you can earn double points from home, sitting on your couch, not deploying anything, but literally you have an iPad or a computer or something like that, and you have Cuppa-Z opened up on that device. You are looking for universals, people. Universals. Rob, firstly, what are universals?
Well, universal is sort of, okay, so we started off with social Munzees. Social Munzees being something that players could cap when they met each other at events. Well, about the 6th hour, they started getting shared online. So it was like, okay, well, that's not necessarily what we intended, but that's fine. So we took that and turned it into the personal. So the personal Munzee can only be capped within 1 mile of where it's deployed, and you can redeploy that multiple times a day. That one is used for events.
Yeah.
The universal actually came about, if I remember correctly, the first time was during COVID. During all the lockdowns, when people weren't able to go to events. So it was kind of one of those things. What could we give people that they could share with other people in order to get more points all over the world? And it was like, universal. That name just kind of clicked and it made sense. So the universal is worth points, and it is something that you can share with players all over the world. It is very easy to find on Cuppa-Z. I just did it in less than 5 seconds.
Yes, you did.
There are some buttons on the left side. Tools. This is a tool that Sam has built. It is a tool, and it's called the Universal Capper. Take it away, Craig.
Rob, with the Universal Capper, I'll have a video on this as well later on, before this goes live. So if you don't know what we're talking about, go to my actual YouTube page and have a look at my shorts, even my TikTok page, Instagram, whatever it might be, and I'll have a video on how to do this on there. In the meantime, what it basically is this. Use Cuppa-Z, the Universal Capper. You've already logged into your own account, Rob. This is what I love about Cuppa-Z. You've logged into your own account. Cuppa-Z know which you've capped and which you haven't capped. So only show you what you cap. But you sit there. You're on the couch. You got your iPad on your lap. You got the Universal Capper up, and you get your first QR code sitting right there, right? You then use your phone and sit there and press cap. And it goes doop and caps it. And it automatically, Sam, great job, automatically switches to the next QR code. Cap again. Doop. Switches next one. Doop. Switch to the next one. Doop. You can sit there, Rob, and do that from your couch all day this weekend, one of the times. And Rob, we worked it out. You said something about you have yet to cap 7,000. 6 or 7,000.
I've looked at the numbers. There currently are 7,133 universals in the pool. I have 6,592 available to cap.
So if you're a new player, people, or if you've never done this before and you've never capped a universal, you've got over 7,000 QR codes to sit there and cap. Now, these QR codes, they give you points, but they give you points depend upon like the capper and the cappee sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like the two different, the cap-ons and the captures. And so it swaps around. So you never get the same amount of points. But either way, your points are doubled this weekend. So whatever you can cap, it's going to be doubled. So at minimum, Rob, if you've got 7,000 to cap, at minimum, they're 10 points each. Minimum 10 points each. There's 7,000 points. Double that. It's 14,000 points. At minimum, 14,000 points from your couch this weekend.
7,000 at 10 points is 70,000 points.
What? Oh, it is too. Mm-hmm. I can't even do the math. It's too early. What?
70,000 and then doubled is 140,000.
140,000 points from your couch this week. Rob, this is going to be a record-breaking weekend. It should be. Let's be honest.
And that's
Did you even think of that? Did you even think about this, Rob?
I did not. No, we've never done this before, and well, we're possibly testing Cuppa Z as much as we are testing Munzee.
Exactly. So, Sam, stay awake. Have your coffee maker. Have your Cuppa Z. Let's just say that. And drink your coffee, Sam, and stay awake the entire weekend because, Cuppa Z needs to stay open for this particular thing as well. So, universal.
If I may, an extension to your tip, which is an amazing tip, to those of you who don't have all of your universals in the universal capper, guess what?
Oh, yes.
You are late to the party. You need to get them in there right now. And Sam makes that very easy because there's a button at the bottom, manage your universals. Very simple.
Bam. There it is. And that'll be in the video as well, Rob. I'll say that too because, he's done a great job. Just one click of a button and your universal goes into the Cuppa Z pool. So there you go, Rob. So there you go. Anything else, Rob, before we close it out? Because that's to me, that's huge.
It is huge. Thanks for sharing it with everyone. If everything burns down, it is 100% your fault. There you go.
Oh, okay. I'll put my hand up for that. Not a problem. Come at me, bro. Anyway, Rob, this ends another official Munzee podcast.
Thanks for joining us on this Munzee adventure.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting app, and of course, join us next week for another very, very informative episode. I'm not sure it's going to be this is so informative as today's, but anyway, we'll see.
We'll find out soon. And remember, Munzee is more than a game. It's a worldwide community of mobile game players.
So keep scanning, keep discovering, and keep that Munzee spirit alive. Red 1, 2, 3, double points, everything,
Munzee
double points, everything.
on. Double.